The date today?
7th. 7th.
And we are rolling on June 7th, 2018 here at UCLA, where it's a beautiful day. The sunshine is shining. They're talking, but I'm sure they're going to put their eyeballs upon you soon. Look at that beautiful garden we have outside our window. Oh my Lord. It's so nice. Mm-hmm. And Sophia looks around to make sure all eyeballs are upon her. Computers are closed. Telephones are away. She says to herself, I respect my audience. It really means it. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, my name is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
America has to be the only country in the world in which people need energy drinks to sit in front of a computer. This was said by a random stranger. Imagine what actual experts have to say about the topic. Today, I want to persuade you to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. I'll give you 2 reasons and 3 action and its benefits that come if you adopt my proposal. We are all college students. We sit down hours in lectures, 1, 2, 3, even 4 hours. We go back to our rooms, sit down to study. We go eat and sit down for another hour to eat. At this rate, we're about to live a very sedentary life because we pick up habits and we will sit down and not exercise for a really long amount of time. So I think it's very important to us to keep an active lifestyle and at least do it 30 minutes. The first reason why I want you to exercise 30 minutes a day is because according to a study, America's population is going to be 3/4 obese by 2020. That's a huge amount of our population. And according to a paper written by Claude Boucard, exercise prevents and treats obesity. It is very important to take into account that we don't want to get to 2020 with 3/4 of our population being obese. This is very important to me because one of my aunts is a diabetic. She sat in an office, she had a job, 8-hour job in an office sitting down. She picked up her kids from school, actually my 2 little cousins. She sat down in the car to drive for them, got home, sat down to rest from work, and then went back and had the same routine over and over. And this is a problem. We're sedentary every time. And diabetes runs in my family. I don't want that to happen to me. That's why it's very important for me and all of us to exercise 30 minutes a day. The second reason why I want you to exercise 30 minutes a day is because it gives you an energy boost. Better than any coffee drink, better than yerba mate, which is the new natural way to stay up. And I know many of you are drinking it during finals week. According to Everyday Health, exercising 30 minutes a day releases endorphins in your body. And that makes you want to do things. That makes you want to complete your day better than any other form of energy drink. This is very deep in my heart because my sweet mate, one of my best friends, Jessica, went to a stage in her life when she was borderline depressed. She would sleep so much, and every time she had schoolwork, she wouldn't even wake up for school. And I started to advise her to exercise or to do something besides just sleeping. She started taking daily walks, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour a day, and she started to feel way better. She got the energy boost she needed to do the daily activities of her day, talking to friends, actually eat at dining halls, and have a better social and health life. I'm gonna give you 3 actions you can take to exercise 30 minutes a day. 1 is to join Fit It on campus. It's an organization, it's by students, for students, and it's free. They teach you how to use weights at the gym, they give you easy routines you can do in your dorm, and it's all free. You do it throughout the week, and for just 30 minutes or an hour, and it's whenever you can. So they're there for you, and they're really nice people. I've done it myself, and it's really good because sometimes I don't have time to go to the gym or to do other things, and going with them has really helped me. The second action you can take is leave the birds, leave your skateboards, and just walk to and from class. It's so easy. We have such a beautiful campus. We can just walk through it, appreciate, walk back to our room, just walking. With our skateboards, we miss so much, and we also miss the opportunity to have our daily activity. The third action I want you to take is just wake up a little bit earlier. Start your day by walking. Maybe use the treadmill, maybe just go outside your dorm and just walk around it. Anything counts. The 3 benefits that come with it is 1, it helps you cope better with stress. And right now I think we all need that. Because your body releases a chemical, norepinephrine, that helps your brain cope better with stress. The second benefit is that you get an energy boost. You get the runner's high. So if you do that for a couple minutes a day, you'll be ready to do whatever you have to do. And the third benefit is you might even lose some weight. And who doesn't want to lose maybe a little bit of weight added to all the activities we have to do? So in summary, I've told you 2 reasons, 3 actions, and the benefits that come by exercising 30 minutes a day. There should be no doubt in this room that you should try to at least exercise 30 minutes a day. And skip that coffee, skip that yerba mate. Even today, walking to this class, this lady gave me a little 5-hour energy shot that's supposed to be organic, but has like 40 grams of sugar. Skip it. Exercise is way better. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you start on this side before, right? Over here. Hello.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
I really liked your speech. I thought it was great, and you could really see your passion through your words. And I don't know, I thought you spoke about the subject very well. It was very clear to follow.
Thank you, Daisy.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex.
I also thought it was an excellent speech. If there's something you can improve upon, maybe try to speak a little bit slower, move it a little bit, but I thought it was really good.
What was the time?
5:31.
5:31, yeah. So you had up to 7 minutes, so you could have added some more information if you wanted it to, but yeah. Well, good. I agree. Sophie? You were really into the speech, and that was clear. And I think it's particularly relevant right now when I see trash cans full of 5-hour energy drinks all over campus. I just look at them in dismay. When you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, Sophia, you'll see that your quote and your transition to your thesis was a little abrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So work on not being so abrupt, a random person. Today I want to persuade you to try to get there a little more smoothly. Other than that, your thesis statement was good. I liked your significance statement. I thought you nailed it in terms of pointing out how sedentary people have become, and it's not beneficial. I've noticed in my floor, in my office space, when they bought new furniture for the department, they gave them the desks that rise so they can stand up and type and work. So some people are working on it anyway, which is nice, yes. So that was good. You included students and professors, and that was good. On your main body, be careful about saying, according to a study. We want to be a little better than that and cite the study. And I know you did down below, but a study in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2017 concluded that is a little better than a study. You know, study sounds a little vague. The information is where we needed some vocal emphasis. It's going to be 3/4 of the population. 3/4. Say it again. It's going to be obese. by 2020. We've got to stop this. We do. You just, you know, a third of the population is going to be obese. Right? So give it a little push. Your Claude Bouchard evidence was good. I like your story of your aunt. I thought that it was a good story and it was on point. And you related to yourself personally, which was good. Where is that coming from? Is that from across the hall? Okay. Could you shut the door over there? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you had a proper Chicago footnote, which was excellent. So that was good, yeah. On your second reason, you said according to Everyday Health, and I didn't see a citation for that. You had a runner's high, and you gave another story of your roommate, Jessica, and I'm glad you named her by name because it made it more real, and that was good. Oversleeping is a classic symptom of depression, and you getting her up to walk was a good solution to the problem. On the actions, join fitted, and you pointed out that you have done this too, so it wasn't just something you were advocating for other people, and I thought that was effective. On the bird, yeah, there's a bird park blocking the door in front of Rolf Haas, ready to throw it over the side of the railing and let it crash to the bottom. I was so mad. Yeah, but I think it's a good idea to try to get some walking in. And, you know, some studies have suggested some baby steps, take one flight of stairs or park your car just a little extra distance away so you get a little walking in like that. Or if you say, I have time, well, you have 5 minutes to walk to the end of the block and back, and then if you have 5 minutes, you have 10 minutes. And so you do baby steps with your walking. So sometimes people have found that's effective. Wake up earlier was good. You cited 3 benefits, and the stress and the productivity and losing weight were all things that speak to people's concerns. So I thought you were in the mode of good benefits for people, and I liked that. Summary was excellent. Conclusion, fine. And the energy drink, I like the little story of someone throwing you a organic energy drink when you read the content. Yeah, was good. Your canines, practice for a smoother delivery. Make eye contact. Do not stop talking when I walk. How'd it go?
I think it went well, just the eye contact. I was looking a lot to the wall, so maybe that.
Looking too much to the wall,
Yeah,
did you say?
making contact with the wall instead of people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll want to work on that and work on that for job interviews and everything else. I thought you had a simple message. What did you design in that was unexpected, that was designed to get special attention?
I think I wanted it to be shocking that 3/4 of the population is going to be obese by 2020. I thought that was like shocking and would like sink into people.
Okay. I thought you were credible, and I thought the evidence you cited was credible. Don't hesitate, everyone, to give full citation, including the dates of your evidence to show that it's recent. You know, that gives it more credibility. I didn't think you got too abstract. You kept it concrete. Talk to me about the emotional connection you made with your audience. For after all, we know that's an essential ingredient of a speech being sticky, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I feel in general like the significant statement talking about like how we all have been in that stage where maybe we don't want to do some things and we're just like so overwhelmed with school. we just rather shut down. Or like giving
Okay.
some like, not hope, but like some other way to relieve that stress and like some
An
way to gain
alternative,
energy.
huh?
Yeah, alternative. That's the word.
A couple other ideas for you might be when you got personal and said it runs in my family. And I'm afraid I might get diabetes, and that scares the hell out of me. It might have been an opportunity for you to feel some fear and dread and let us feel that fear and dread, and then we have an emotional connection. Remember that felt sensing. You stories and more stories. You had good stories, and you had a bibliography. Thank you very much. Okay. Give me a moment, please. A little late, but yeah. So this is self-evaluation for the persuasive thing? Yes. Where's your self-evaluation? Oh, here? Yeah. Okay, give me a moment to adjust the camera. No seconds. Nice, okay. Joanna stands before us nicely in the power stance, I might add. Looking around the room to make sure all eyeballs are upon her. Communication, respect non-verbally. Pointing friendly eyes near the front and center, say your name, feel the love station.
Hello, I'm Joanna.
Hi, Joanna.
Joanna grows my one banana like a perfect diorama. This was the Tinder pickup line, and perhaps it's a little inappropriate for class, but perhaps, just perhaps, it is an unusual love letter in its own way. And now, mind you, some of our most well-known writers and poets have written their own fair share of love letters. Some were a bit torrid, such as Charles Bukowski, who had written in a letter to Linda King, "I liked your hand-walking act. It got me hotter than hell." And he ended with, "I want you, I want you, I want you, you. And some are a little more subtle, such as Oscar Wilde, in a letter that he had written to his gay lover, "You came to me to seek the pleasure of life and the pleasure of art. But perhaps I was chosen to teach you something much more wonderful, the meaning of sorrow and its beauty." And so today, I want to persuade you to write your own love letters. And I'll give you 2 reasons why, 3 actions you can take, and the benefits that could entail. Now, why am I asking you to sit down, get out a piece of paper and a pen, and to think fervently about somebody as you write to them, when you could easily and efficiently send them a text? This is because meaning arises through letter writing when you're giving parts of yourself away with no expectations of getting those parts back. And I quote Hannah Brencher, the founder of an organization called More Love Letters. This organization enables strangers to write love letters to other strangers in their time of need. And I also ask you because letter writing has become an alien activity in this day and age where the conveyance of love has been reduced to a single emoji or the acronym ILY, and that's not simply enough. And I also ask you because love letters are a tangible act of love, thought, and appreciation. And they're something that you can hold in your hands, something you can possibly keep forever. And so the first reason that I asked to write love letters is because they spread emotional support to those around you. This comes from personal experience. I remember fondly of a close friend in middle school called Bethany. She would consistently write love letters to her friends and her family, and a young Joanna was tormented by adolescent heartbreak, and she noticed, and she proceeded to hand me a handwritten letter the next day, completed with colored doodles and a scented candle taped to the back of the envelope. And that became one of many exchanges that we had, through cards, through letters, through notes, throughout all of these years. She's still one of my close friends now. And I have all of these tucked away in my home because they are evidence of an appreciation of others that's come out from me through letter writing. And I feel that it will be a pleasure for anybody to receive a letter, regardless of the situation, because it means that somebody has thought about you and translated that into a process of selecting paper and pen, crafting unique script of signing love, whomever. And the second reason that I would like you all to start writing love letters is because it is cathartic. It is a therapeutic process for yourself. And I quote the Journal of Mental Health Counseling, letter writing allows for self-exploration and change. It provides more permanence and thus a more concrete means of self-reflection over a greater time span. And I know this is coming from a professional therapy point of view, but it is universal and it can be applied to everyday situations. And I believe that writing letters should also be pleasurable because in verbal communication, there are always words that are unspoken or they're swallowed. But on paper, the expression of yourself, it changes. And also, letter writing creates a safe environment, an intimate environment for yourself to even unload the heaviest of your thoughts. And now, I will show you 3 actions that you can take to start letter writing. First is to discard any barriers or any misconceptions that you may have had about love letters. First, you may think it's cheesy. Don't. Second, you may say you don't have enough time. Spare some. And third, you may think that you are a bad writer, but everybody can write. And it is about the amount of thought and how genuine you are in your letters, not about the amount of similes or metaphors. And second, buy supplies. Nice ones too, because then you will be more willing to write. And third, just write to yourself about your past, your current, or future self, or your friends and family to show your love and support. And even to strangers. What did you notice about them? Worth having a bad day? Cheer them on. And just leave that for somebody else to find. A genuine act of kindness. And once you have taken on all these actions, I hope that you may have found that you have been more in touch with yourself and those around you, thus creating better relationships. And maybe you have gotten better at conveying emotions, and you have gotten better at writing in general. So, in summary, I have shown you 2 reasons why, 3 actions you can take, and the benefits I couldn't tell if you take on my proposal. And there should be no doubt in this room that I encourage all of you to start writing love letters. Now, regardless of whether it's a cheeky Tinder line, or whether it's a sexually explicit line, or it's a beautiful love line to commemorate the end of a relationship, I hope I've persuaded you all that there is more emotional merit and literary merit in love letters than you may have thought. And so I encourage you all to take a break from time to time and to write about love. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. What'd you like?
I like that you were really passionate.
Name?
My name is Spencer.
Nice.
I like that you introduced the reason why this was your topic was because of a personal background story, and it shows that you're really passionate about this thing and you want everyone else to copy it.
Mm-hmm. She gave us a rationale, so it wasn't just out of the blue. Thank you, Spencer. Any improvement?
Hi, I'm Mira.
Hi, Mira.
I really liked your speech and your genuine voice. Maybe instead of keeping your hands really close and tight, you can use them more.
Sorry, T-Rex hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's not a bad comment. Joanna. Tender, yeah. anyone know how to take an A, E, A, F lock off? Is it going to ruin the picture? You know, take that off, that little green, yellow.
I don't think it's
No,
gonna be on the video.
no, it's not gonna be in the video.
How do I get it to go away?
It's not gonna be in the video.
Okay, then will it go away? Do I just touch it?
What is
This little thing there?
If you tap twice, does it go away?
Oh, tap twice, thank you.
Just try it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just have it. Okay, yeah. Well, great. Let's talk about your speech. You seem to apologize a little for a poem or a statement or a sentence that came from Tinder, but I must tell you that I was speaking with a girl during office hours, and she said she was going to miss class because her sister was getting married. I said, oh, that's great. And we talked a while longer. I said, by the way, where'd they meet? She said, on Tinder. And I thought, that's interesting. And she said, yeah, my parents were horrified. And I said, oh, okay, well, anyway, I had to sort of adjust a lot of knowledge and expectations after I heard that. So anyway, I guess you had some thoughts about that too. But in any case, you grabbed our attention with that particular sentence, and I think that was perhaps your goal. Now, I want to especially what was the time, by the way?
It was 5:42.
5:42, thank you. I want to especially compliment Joanna. I want you all to notice. She didn't just have one little quick sentence of a quote for a intro, but she quoted Charles Bukowski and in a love letter that he had written to Linda King and put feelings into it, and you didn't just say it polysyllabic, like in a boring style, but you put some oomph in it, which I like. And then you quoted Oscar Wilde, which he wrote to his gay lover, and you switched gears on us by saying it wasn't exactly love, but sorrow and its beauty. So I really like the range of your intro, and it really, I thought, it really got us intrigued and interested, Joanna, so that was good. When I heard your persuasive request or act, I want to persuade you to write love letters, I thought, Joanna, this is a hard sell in this day and age. I mean, a real hard sell. But nonetheless, you gave it a good effort. And I guess you know what I mean by that. I mean, we're really, it's, as you put it, it's, what's the abbreviation? ILY, or what's 532, or what's the other one for I love you?
143.
What?
143.
143, there you go, sorry. See, I don't even know these things. 143, all right, 143. Hey, 143! That's pretty intimate, huh? Yeah. Okay, so I thought, well, you have a big job on your hands. Let's see how well you did. And you right away told us that you weren't asking people to text or email love letters. You were asking people to go get old-fashioned paper and pens and write down something on them. And you said, why should you do this instead of a text? And you gave a rationale for why you wanted to do this. You quoted Hannah Bruncher, who is the founder of More Love Letters. Now, I must tell you, I had to take some points off for no Chicago footnoting, just out of curiosity. Do you know how to do it, or didn't want to do it, or you just didn't know how? It's just a button you push on Word. But what was the dealio there, Joanna?
I just forgot.
You forgot. Okay, well,
It's bibliography. but I
because
forgot.
there are little little things at the bottom of each page. That's, and I think you've heard me in class stressing the Chicago footnoting style, haven't you? Yeah. Okay. Enough. All right. And yeah, and it is different. And as you point out, it is very different, and they're very tangible acts. So I thought your significant statement was pretty good, and if not a bit long, but I thought it did the job. On your first reason is that you said it spreads a lot of emotional support for those around you. And, I thought to myself, well, this is going to take some gear shifting on people's parts, because not too many people think of themselves as their job. Like Mira, does she think of her job as spreading emotional support for people around her? Maybe, maybe not, but I love the example you gave of your friend, who's still your friend, who wrote you notes and letters and things like that, and notes of encouragement. Yeah, and you kept them, and that was very persuasive support. I might quickly add that I was very fortunate that my father wrote me notes and letters, which I saved and tucked different little books in my bag when I went off to college. So it was very thoughtful of him, with pages marked of things I should read. In any case, your second reason is you pointed out that it's cathartic, and I hope everyone knows what that word means. But you go on to define it as a therapeutic process, that you let your feelings out, and you sort of unload, and you don't carry the burden around with you. That's sort of what you meant. And you sort of implied that this almost was a substitute for professional therapy, or it could be that kind of thing. Didn't get a feeling that this was your strongest of your reasons, but nonetheless it was a reason. As for your concrete actions, you urge people to be afraid to do it, to think that it's cheesy. I will tell you that in my family, whenever we went to dinner or any place like that, I was always required to send a written thank you note to the hosts, thanking them for the dinner, and my children have had to do the same thing, and it's a habit they now have, and people like it and notice it. It's a good habit, because it doesn't happen anymore that you get a card from somebody. When you do get a card from somebody, you go, boom. It's kind of knocks you over. You said you have no time, make time. You think you're bad at writing, just write, I guess was your answer, right? Yeah. Get supplies, just write. And when you perform these actions, you said you'll get better relationships, you'll convey more of your emotions, and you'll get better at your own writing. Okay. Your summary was good, your conclusion was good, and your tie back to Tinder was good. That was your basic grabber, so that was good. There's one more thing I guess I'm not going to talk about, and then I encourage you all to take a break from time to time and write about love. So I thought this was a good speech. Now let's talk about your canais. You said you wanted to have variety in your speech. You wanted to have transitions. And do not leave out any part of your speech. How'd it go?
Well, I think, because in the beginning I kind of had to have more vocal variety to get in character with the writers, I guess. And then I didn't leave out parts of the speech this time.
Yeah.
And I did pause for transition.
Yeah, you knew it all. Yeah. I thought what you were advocating was pretty simple. Although I do think when we got down to some of your reasoning, it got a little abstract, and maybe too. What did you put in that was sort of, shall we say, unexpected, that
I guess
was a grabber for attention? What was that?
Introduction.
The introduction, the Tinder thing, yeah. You were credible. You actually, I don't think people believe that there are actually writers and people that thought about writing this, that had published stuff about this, and it was out there, and that was good, yeah. How about your emotional connection?
I let the whole speech deal with emotion, and so
Yeah.
maybe one more personal element would be my own personal story, my background, my rationale for why I do this.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was thinking when I was starting to say, I'll just say it now. And maybe this was too personal, but I was sort of hoping or waiting for you to quote one of your love letters or your letters that you had sent to a man or a woman or your little sister or your father or your aunt, so we could get a flavor of you doing it. It would have been effective to me, but that's just me, okay? In any case, it was really off the beaten path, and I like that, so thank you. Boy, they're really having a ball over there, aren't they? Okay. Okay, next. The Disney Tech. Okay. All right. We're really happy. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Okay. Mira looks around the room to do an eyeball check. Oh, there's some new eyeballs. Okay. Lighting friendly eyes near the front and the center. Communicating respect and non-verbally. She's in the power stance. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, my name is Mira.
Hi, Mira.
Mira, how do I save this document? Mira, how do I send this picture? Mira, I think I broke my laptop. No, Mom, you have to plug the charger into the wall. I'm sure we all have that one relative or friend who's not as technologically savvy as the rest of us. And a matter of fact, I think we could all learn a lot more about iPhones and computers and technology. Today, I want to persuade you all to stay up to date with technology-related news. I'll give you 2 reasons why, 3 actions you can take, and 3 benefits you'll get from adopting my proposal.
Technology is changing at a rapid pace, and it's affecting our lives. For example, we're all involved with social media, we all have iPhones, but this power comes with a lot more responsibility, and we need to take that responsibility to know about all the dangers that are associated with technology. So the first reason I want you to stay up to date with tech news is for your own safety. 2 years ago, someone I hold very near and dear to my heart was kidnapped and held at gunpoint. This person, my idol, Kim Kardashian, was robbed of $10 million worth of jewelry. And thankfully, the authorities caught the robbers and the jewelry was returned. But police found out that the robbers were able to pinpoint her location due to her social media activity. So many of us have social media accounts, but not a lot of us know how that data is stored and shared and tracked. And likewise, Kim doesn't know how that works, so she was exploited and taken advantage of. A study by the Pew Research Center in 2015 stated that 2/3 of all adults have been aware that their accounts have been tampered with or hacked. I want you guys to all start paying more attention to tech news so we can find out about new breaches in security or the way that products work so we can really understand how to protect ourselves. And if Kim knew more about this, she would have been a lot more careful with the way that she shared her location with social media. So the second reason I want you to stay more up to date with technology is so we can make more informed and educated decisions, because tech is playing a big part in all of our lives. A few weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg went to Capitol Hill to testify against Congress regarding his Cambridge Analytical data scandal. Now, everyone in Congress really wanted to help users and fight against Mark Zuckerberg, but it was clear that no one really understood how Facebook worked. A congressman from Utah asked Mark, "How do you make money if you don't charge your users?" To which Mark replied, "Senator, we run ads." So the silly questions that the congressmen were asking showed that no one really understands how technology works. And if this is the case, we can't really make the correct laws to address issues. And as the next generation, we have to learn how everything works because we are the ones voting for bills such as stem cell research and privacy policy laws. And we need to assume that responsibility so that we can make our society safer for the next generation. So there's 3 simple actions you can take to get more involved with tech and stay up to date. First, you can start reading news outlets like Wired or TechCrunch. They often explain products and social media platforms and things like that at a very high level that everyone can understand. And it's also entertaining. Second, I encourage each and every one of you to take a coding class. MarketWatch stated in 2017 that more than half of the highest paying jobs in the US require coding skills. So I want all of you to take at least one coding class before you graduate from college, so you can stay relevant in whatever profession you're in, from being a journalist to being a physician. And third, this one's really simple, just make a social media account, like on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. This way you can really understand how communication is evolving throughout our generation. So once you take these simple actions, you'll feel a lot more comfortable and secure when you use technology and social media, because you know how your data is stored and tracked and shared. You'll also be in a better position to make informative decisions like when you vote on new tech bills that are coming out in the future. And finally, you won't have to rely on anyone to use simple devices, so you'll feel a lot more independent. So, in summary, I've told you 2 reasons why I want you to stay up to date with tech news, 3 actions, and 3 benefits you'll get from adopting my proposal. There should be no doubt in this room that you guys should all stay up to date with tech news. So I really love my mom, and I wish I could be with her every single time she has a question. But unfortunately, I can't. And all I can hope for is that all of you guys and me can be really comfortable using technology and really confident with how it's used so that we can maintain our independence and freedom as we grow older and the world is changing rapidly around us. Thank you.
Thank you. Here.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
I really liked your speech. I thought it was very relevant. My favorite part was probably when you did like your little scenarios, like you actually like played it out, and also when you did the Mark Zuckerberg action. So yeah, really nice.
Mm-hmm. You play roles. Yes, sir.
I'm Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
I like your speech. I think one thing you could improve on is like more vocal variety, or like more like passion. Like you seem to like. I mean, when you were doing like the reenactments, they were good, but like during the rest of your speech, when you were kind of explaining stuff, I felt like it slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Mira. I like your introduction. I think we all, with our parents or others, have had, how do I save this document? Why is this crashing? Why? And we've all asked too, but you know, we've all had that experience. And so I think that your illusion was one that people could relate to. Yeah. So your thesis, I want to persuade you to read more tech-related news. I thought was a good one. Although I must tell you, I wish you had given us more tech-related newspapers to read, entitled like Wired or other ones, and just a few you mentioned. So, or where to go to get them, or how to find them, or and you know, giving us a little more specificity on that, just to get a little ahead of my critique a little bit. Yeah, that was the first thing. Yeah. All right. So your SIG statement was on point. The world is changing. We need to be ready to change with it, so we better be self-educating ourselves every day by reading. And I know a student of mine that had graduated from Yale Law School came to visit me, and he said, if you're not reading Wired, you should be, and I want to start you reading it by giving you a subscription. And he did, and I've been hooked on it ever since. So, you know, it's a good publication. So, on your first reason, you talked about safety, and you used the example of Kim Kardashian, who is robbed in her Paris hotel. You said that they probably figured out how to do it from social media, probably Snapshot and some other things along that line. And you said that, you know, you were happy the robbers were caught. You had under your same point your Pew Research, which you footnoted Chicago style on the first page. Thank you. And that told us of the significance of this, that 60% have experienced some kind of security breach or thought of it in our lifetime. So, and you stressed that, and that was good. On your second reason, you quoted the testimony of Mark Zuckerberg at the silly senator that couldn't figure out how he made money, and he had to probably bite his tongue in half and tell the poor senator that we run ads, sir. You know. Right. You then went into a thing about us voting and being knowledgeable and voting for people that are up on this issue. So pretty good reason, I guess. Not great, but pretty good. On your concrete actions, this is where I said you mentioned Wired and TechCrunch, so you mentioned those, and that's good. A few more would have been good. I think the coding class was excellent. I think it should be required here at UCLA. And yeah, I think it's essential. And make a Facebook, Twitter account. Yeah, I think that's good. I think everyone has done that, but if they haven't, great. The benefits: secure voters, simple devices. Your summary was good, your conclusion was good, and your tie back to your mother was good. Let's talk about your delivery, though, because that's where I think you'll want to work for the future, Mira. I think that you'll want to get a range, because there are times when you feel, it almost, don't take this wrong, but it almost seems like you're calling it in. It's kind of the same way. You'll see it tonight when you watch yourself on YouTube. It's the same tone all the way through. And you want variety. You want to be different. You want to wake people up with the differences in how you spew out your speech so that you're more interesting to listen to. The second thing I would say is I don't know why, and I think I've talked to you about this before, it's hard to remember, but you have this range about right here with your arms, you know, and you don't, let me see some gestures up here. It's like up here, it's like I'm crucifying you, right? Or something. Let me see you do something up here. Like, hi. You look like you're embarrassed to go up that high, right?
Well, in the last video, I thought I was doing too much.
Waving, and so now you're, yeah. Well, between keeping it down there and keeping it real mellow with your voice, I think you kind of undercut yourself, because a persuasive speech needs to have a person that's real enthusiastic, because people are often swept away by the enthusiasm of somebody speaking. You go, hey, Mira's so into this, damn it, I'm going to be into it too. See? Mira's sort of half asleep. She took a Quaalude before class. No, I'm not into it. Forget it. I'm being metaphorical, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the stickiness of the speech. I thought it was a pretty simple message. What was unexpected?
I think my impersonation.
Yeah, that was good. I was going to talk to you about that. You sort of went like this and then like this to signify that one person was talking this way and the other person was talking that way, right? So that was good. You know, this and this, so they were back and forth. That was good. That was you were acting out the roles. I like that. That was creative. So yeah, that was a good unexpected thing. Your credibility, I think, could have been enhanced with more than just the Pew research. The highest paying jobs in America now require this skill. I would have stressed that. Don't you want to get a better paying job? Go learn to code. You know, be more of a evangelist, shall we say? So your credibility was good. It wasn't too abstract. What about your emotional connection?
I was trying to get passionate to show people that it's important that they know about this stuff because they're voting for it, but I think that could have come out more with more vocal variety.
And you think that would have made a more emotional connection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Mira, and I think this was pardon me for saying this, but I think it's a darn hard speech to get an emotional connection on, because it's, unless you really stress the coding and better money, and I'm excited about this, or something, but this is hard to get a strong emotional connection on. It's just the way it is. You had good stories, so thank you.
The time was 6:45.
6:45. Very good. Okay, next. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm swell. Okay. Still over there. Okay. All right, we can begin.
Hi, my name's Viviana.
Hi,
If I
Viviana.
could have everybody take out their phones, go to their settings. If you have an iPhone. Sorry.
Settings.
Settings, go on your battery. Click on the option for last 7 days.
The battery, where's that?
If you scroll down, last 7 days, and then click on your top app. Does it give you hours?
Oh. iPhone person.
Add up the top 2 apps that you use. How many hours were you guys on it this week?
21.
21 hours? Anybody else?
12.
12 hours? Come away.
This is interesting.
Here, I can help you. Right there. Last 7 days. So you spent 8.4 hours on phone, 48 minutes on that, 1.1 hours on your messages, 20 minutes on Facebook. That's not too bad. So, so today, I want to persuade you all to dedicate at least 30 minutes each day for self-care. Self-care can be anywhere between exercising, practicing mindfulness, or even something as simple as logging off of social media. I want to give you guys 2 reasons why you should dedicate at least 30 minutes of your time, and offer some actions and benefits that will come out of it. As college students, we often get wrapped up in our classes, our social life, and work, and we think the last thing that we have time for is self-care. But today I want to share with you all why taking some time each day can actually improve both our mental and our physical health. The first reason I want you all to dedicate some time towards self-care is because it can help alleviate stress, anxiety, and depression. According to the American Psychological Association, anxiety is among the top concerning thing for college students, whereas 41% of students have reported having anxiety, and 36% of students have reported having depression. And so, last quarter, I experienced one of the most challenging quarters here at UCLA. I was taking 18 units, and they were all upper deck classes where I had to write 3 essays each week. It was the worst. And on top of that, I was working 25 to 30 hours a week. Rent isn't cheap, so I had to pay bills. And I thought that the only solution to this was to only focus on academics, to not go to the gym anymore, to isolate myself from my friends. And I soon realized that I was being counterproductive by doing that. I was more stressed than ever. I felt extremely lonely, and ultimately I was suffering from depression for that time. And so what I realize now in retrospect is that had I put away my phone for a little bit, because of course I made time for Twitter and Instagram, had I put my phone away for a little bit longer and instead been at the gym or had done a face mask or, just been outside longer, I could have been as successful in my classes while still being happier and genuinely a better person, feeling better as myself. And so that's why today I want to stress with you all why it's important to dedicate, no matter how hectic it may get, dedicate some time for self-care. The second reason why I think you all should dedicate some time for self-care is because it's better for your overall physical health. In my family, there's been a lot of consequences for, the fact that we haven't necessarily been making our self-care a priority. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, they all suffer from diabetes, high blood pressure, everything, you name it. Every morning when I was growing up, I'd see my mom, along with our breakfast, she'd take 9 or 10 pills because she has everything, almost everything in the book. And every night I'd watch her, as I was eating my cereal, I'd watch her stab herself with the insulin pen, and she still does that. And so I thought this was normal. I thought everybody goes through this, and this is just a part of life. What I didn't realize was that my family didn't make self-care or their health a priority, and that was affecting all of us. And so her dream is to go to Europe, but because she can't really walk that much, she's only 50, but because she can't really walk, she knows that she wouldn't be able to see all the sights that she wants to see. So now that she can afford to go, she physically can't go. And so with that being said, I want you guys all to really realize that self-care isn't just about going to the gym or eating healthy. It's about being able to live life to the fullest and being physically and mentally capable of doing everything that you want to do. And so third, I want to give you guys some actions. Sorry. I want to give you all some actions that you guys can take and some benefits that will come from it. So first action you can take is to do a face mask. And guys, I promise it's just as refreshing for you as it is for us. All my guy friends can attest to that. Two, exercise. If you can't, if you feel intimidated by going to the gym, there's apps like Sworkit, that are free and that teach you how to gym and how to do the form, and they even have difficulty levels. So you could do that. The third thing that you could do is join a club on campus. There's so many clubs like the dance teams or taekwondo, anything. There's so a fighting club, which will motivate you to be committed to devoting some time towards self-care. And along with that, you get to make friends and you get to learn a new skill. So after you do these things, I guarantee you guys that you're gonna feel a lot more productive, a boost of energy, you're gonna feel more confident, and ultimately, you're gonna feel physically and mentally more healthy. In summary, I have given you guys 2 reasons why you should dedicate some more time towards self-care, and I've offered you some actions and benefits that will follow if you do those things. There should be no doubt in this room that you should each dedicate at least 30 minutes a day towards self-care. If you all could dedicate 21 hours or 5 hours or 8 hours towards Snapchat, Instagram, and social media, then I know you guys can dedicate at least 30 minutes each day towards self-care. We all have big dreams and aspirations in life that are going to take a lot of time and commitment, but I can guarantee you that if you're not mentally and physically healthy, that those dreams are going to seem impossible. So I challenge you all, and I encourage you all to really take a moment to breathe. Enjoy, your environment when you're outside, and live in the moment. So, all in all, use those 8 hours each week to try to become a better version of yourself, and I guarantee you guys will be happier. Thank you.
Thank you, Viviana. Okay, where are we? here. Yes, please.
I'm Joanna.
Hi,
And
Joanna.
I really love your speech. I think you're a very genuine speaker, and that comes across. And I resonated with your personal story because my family is the same. And I just feel like the message is very relevant, and it will be beneficial to everybody. So.
Mm-hmm. Improvement.
Hi, my name is Chang.
Hi, Sean.
I really like your speech because you managed to create a very deep emotional connection with the audience, and you really engage in the felt sensing. Not many points of improvement. I would say just maybe pause a little more to let the emotions sink in. But you're really, really good at establishing that connection.
Okay, Viviana. I thought it was very effective to have people look at their phones, and I didn't even know how to do it, so that was great. Now I do. And your thesis preview was specific, you know, so I would have liked you to have, had the 2 reasons, actions, and benefits laid out in the beginning before you went to the social media thing, but it was fine the way you did it. On the significant statement, you related it to the students on this campus, and that was fine. On your evidence, which you cited Chicago style nicely, you cited depression, and you suggested that your support of your own story and you being what I call penny wise and pound foolish and cutting out vital things and thinking that they weren't vital. And so it was a very telling story, and I thought good support for your point. And how you felt that way about it, I agree with Chang. You had a good emotional connection going all the way along because you're very likable and sincere as a speaker. Your second point was again a personal story, and I guess that's okay. A little more evidence sprinkled in through here couldn't have hurt. But the 8 pills and all that, and now she can travel, she can out. Well, how ironic. That's a lot of senior citizens discover that they save up for Hawaii and Europe, and then can't get on the boat or plane or whatever, you know. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. Your concrete actions, face mask. Yeah, I had to take a moment to. You're talking about putting mud on your face and letting it dry, right? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, great. And then work out and join a club, yeah. Your benefits, which I would prefer you stress more with your voice, the great benefits will come to you. Summary, conclusion, and tie back were all fine. You're connized. Be calm, have more vocal variety, and do something unexpected. How did it go?
I think it was more calm, more relaxed, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I could work on vocal variety, like you said, like pausing a little bit more. And I think the beginning was, I think, my most unexpected thing, which I did in class, so I thought that was cool.
Good. Yeah, that was definitely unexpected and effective, I might add. Yeah. You had pretty good evidence. It was mostly anecdotal, but it was still compelling evidence. Some more research, I think, would have been appropriate. Your emotional connection, I think the stories you told about your mother and stuff helped us relate to this emotionally. Yeah. So you had good stories. So you did a good job. Thank you. Okay, next. Is this the last one?
I think so.
Praise the Lord. Ooh, very good. stance before you, managing tension in the power stance, looking for all eyeballs to be upon you. Computers closed, phones away, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel a little love, start your speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
Hello. Last year, I ended my freshman year of college having made no friends. I formed acquaintances, but no one I could really count on or who I felt comfortable enough to hang out with. And I had my best friend from back home as my roommate, but anytime she was at work or away, I felt really, really alone. So today, I want to persuade you all to put yourself more out there. I'll give you two reasons you should put yourself out there more, 3 actions and 3 benefits that will come from adopting my proposal. I know this will all be significant to all of you because at one point or another, we've all felt alone. And being at school as big as UCLA, it's easy to feel that way when we're away from our home, our family, and our friends. So the first reason I want you to put yourself out there more is because it's good for you. Christian Häkkilinen, a psychology professor at the University of Helsinki in Finland, states that having a lot of social support from a significant other or from friends who are in the same situation as you is good for your health and significantly reduces the risk of heart attack. Last year, I very rarely had any meaningful conversations with anyone aside from my roommate, and I think the lack of this kind of communication made me feel really unmotivated and kind of depressed, and I found myself wanting to just lay in my bed all day. This year, however, I met 2 friends on my floor, Steph and Eli, and over the course of the year, we've become great friends. And now that I have that support from 2 people and that I know that they understand what I'm going through, I felt more excited to be here, more motivated, and overall more happy and healthy. The second reason I think you should all put yourself out there more is because you will learn and experience new things. Thanks to Steph and Eli, I now know how to use public transportation, and after several trips to the mall and to Santa Monica, I now feel confident enough to take the bus to places without worrying that I'll end up in some unknown city. And if it weren't for them, and if I hadn't made the initiative to become friends with them, I would have never learned that it only takes 50 cents to get yourself to Santa Monica. And I'm really grateful for this because it's taught me something new that I can carry with me forever. So 3 actions you can take to put yourself out there more are, first, if you live in a dorm, say hi to the people on your floor and say hi to the people in the restroom and make conversations with them. This is not to say that you're going to become best friends with them right away, but it definitely opens the door to more social interaction because anytime I've said hi to someone in the restroom, they're generally really nice, and it encourages me to talk to more people outside of my floor. Second, if I recommend joining a club or anything. There's so many clubs here on campus that cater to specific interests. This year I joined La Gente Nismac, and I met so many amazing people and so many people who come from similar backgrounds as me, and it's made me feel less alone in such a big school. And third, if you see someone in your class and you recognize them from another class, chances are you guys are probably similar majors and you're going to continue to see them. So reach out to them, ask them to study, because it's likely that they're going through the same thing you are. They know the classes you have to take. They might have taken some of the classes you already took, and both of you can bounce advice off of each other. 3 benefits that you'll enjoy if you take part in these actions. First, you'll experience new things and learn more about yourself and about the people around you. Second, you'll be able to network more with people. And third, you will feel more encouraged to talk to new people. So in summary, I have shared with you 2 reasons why I think you should put yourself out there more. 3 actions you can take to do this, and 3 benefits you will enjoy if you adopt my proposal. There should be no doubt in this room that I encourage you all to put yourself out there more. I ended my first year really sad and disappointed because everyone said that in college you would meet lifelong friends, and that hadn't happened for me. But this year, because I made initiative to talk to more people, I've met amazing people that I know I can count on for years to come. And as I end my second year of college, I can say that I'm definitely happier than I was my first year, and I owe it all to putting myself out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we're somewhere back here, right? Yeah.
Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
I really like your speech because it was like great to see your progress and you really like, put yourself out there talking about it. So it was really nice to hear.
Thank you.
Sophia.
Hi, I'm Connie.
Hi, Connie.
I also really like your speech. I think it was really genuine and really easy for like everyone to relate. And I think the only thing you can improve is maybe to like practice your speech a little bit more so you can like really get it down.
Yeah.
And like not have like some like little pauses, but overall it's a really good speech.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. You're hesitant in a few spots. You jiggled the order, but you got it out. It's fine. That's good. Well, Daisy, I really liked your speech. You had a very dramatic opening, which is to say, very much like the model I showed you when she said, the girl came up to her and said, "You don't have any friends." You know, you said, you know, I ended the first year of college with no friends. Wow. And you gave it a kind of a little bit of a pause and let that sink in for us. And that was good. That was took some courage to do that and say that. So I appreciate you doing that. And that was a good way to get our attention, to see that you had something important to talk about. And you went on then to say that not only did you have friends, but you felt very lonely. And you had acquaintances, and you had people around, but it wasn't enough. Yeah. So you chose this expression, put yourself out there. Did you struggle with that expression? Did you try to think of some others, or what I'm curious.
Yeah, I definitely debated and
Yeah.
I don't know, that's
Just what
the best one
happened.
I came
Yeah.
up with.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, be open to people, or, you know, but put yourself out there is fine. We got the idea, yeah. And the rest of your thesis with the preview was excellent. And I think you're right that everyone has felt time a little isolated and lonely at a big place like UCLA, because this is a big pond, and this is not for the shy. Yeah, this is not. This is not Sarah Lawrence. You know. Anyway, your first reason, you quoted Christian Hakulian, who talked about the importance of having social support to your health. And you had a Chicago footnote, bless you. And secondly, you gave us a happy ending when you told us that you met Steph and Eli on your floor, and we could see that, you know, some happiness actually came over you when you mentioned their names. So that was good, and then you were able to articulate and describe how much better you felt now that you had these friends. See, that was good. Then you told us that they taught you how to use the bus system, and you're able to see the Pacific Ocean for 50 cents. Pretty good support. On your specific actions, you encourage people to just make eye contact and say hi. Speak to people in bathrooms, you say. I guess that's a good piece of advice. And in classes, look for people to study with. I strongly urge people to do that. That's just peer learning is just a better way to go through college. You know, even if you think you're a genius and you don't need help, it's just a better way. You make friends and do other things with people you study with. So. Hente News Magazine, you met some amazing people, good. Benefits, yes, they were all well articulated. Your summary, your conclusion, your tie back were all good, and I like the way you tied back to I didn't have any friends, but now I did. Your canines, remember every part of the speech outline. Speak slower for effect. Move my hands less. How did it go?
I remembered everything, but I did.
Jiggled. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
I think I did speak slower, especially at the beginning.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes.
And then my hands, I'm not sure. I was kind of nervous. So I might have.
Yeah, they were fine. I got a particular shot of you, so sometimes your hands aren't in the complete shot, but that's fine. What was unexpected?
I think just the beginning, because I think feeling alone is something we all relate to, but it's not really talked about.
You don't say it out loud, right? I thought you were credible. Thought you were concrete and not too abstract. What was your emotional connection?
Just feeling alone.
The loneliness. You had good stories. Okay, good job. Thank you. All right, well, our work is done. Give yourself a round of applause. Don't return with honor. There's no class next week. Turn in your self-evaluation by email. Oh, 5:22. Thank you for timing. We lost old Spencer, huh?
Yeah.
Spencer Tracy is gone with the wind.